everybody, and welcome back to live stream number 2. Of course, woohoo! I'm a little bit late. I'm about an hour late. That's because I had a headache. I had to sleep in most of the day just to get rid of the damn thing. It's probably about 90% gone, but there we go. Everyone doesn't like headaches, that's for sure. It's the bane of our headaches, as they say. So very cool. Anyway, yeah, probably about 90% better. Well, it's good enough to do a live stream, that's for sure. We're going to get into it, though. Look at this hex chart pumping. Woohoo! Let's get straight into the chat and say hello, though. We've got a few people in the house. Welcome to everybody. We've got Black Square. Greetings to you all from South America. A big shout out to everyone in South America. Black Square's in the house. 2:30. I guess it's 2:30 a.m. here, but Hex is mooning. Nice one there. You got to stay up for that. And, of course, look at the price at the moment. 6.929 cents. It did get way up high here. Look at this thing. All the way up to 7.359 cents at the top here. Look at that. Of course, typically gets sold in a little bit there when it does such a big move in one candle. Woohoo! All right, so let's get into it. We've got Brian in the house, and good to see you up, Brian. And, of course, Brian has been busy all day doing live streams on Gen Hex channel. What they have a few pretty, they had Crypto Coffee, Wales Only, the Hexiest Man in the World, I think. What else did you have? And a few other people on there too. So pretty cool show. Crypto Maniac in the house. Hello. HB says, sup, man. Yes, welcome. Sit back and enjoy another great stream from yours truly, Hex Token. Crowd goes wild. I like that one, HB. Very nice one. We got Belly Brown with the big hearts in. I've got to do a heart now. Nice to see BB in the house there. Woohoo! Belly Brown rocking it. Got to be enjoying this one, Belly Brand. That price is moving up pretty nicely. We got Jean William in the house there with the Kiwi flags. Love it. And go the All Blacks. Apparently they won. So that's good. That's what Kiwis are like. If they're winning, we'll back them up. If they're losing, we give them heaps of criticism. That's just the way it goes. Welcome to life. Brian says 90% Superman still kicks everyone's ass. Hope he gets right soon, boss. Yeah, thanks, Brian. Appreciate that. And Stizzy Jones says, how do I buy Icosa? It's not going to be available. We don't know when exactly. Probably pretty soon, I imagine, after it launches, but we just don't know because it's going to be pretty rare at the beginning. Very rare. We're going to get into all of that a bit later. We're going to jump quickly through the prices and get straight into Icosa. Brian, what else? We got CP in the house as well. Greetings from the UK. Can we go over Icosa from start to finish? We will be CP. It is Icosa for beginners, so we're going to be doing all that. Rocket Mob, the podcast pump continues. Says Rocket Mob absolutely does. Henry Saunders in the house. Hex Token gentlemen, been with you all night, ready for Icosa. Nice one there, Henry. Welcome. All right, so let's get straight into it. I think we've got about 20 people so far. More people will jump in, I'm sure. Just the way it goes. And Rocket Mob says the podcast pump continues. What else there? Hexsoft, sorry. Hi, everybody from Hexsoft. Paul, nice to see you in the house. Welcome to everybody from the UK. I guess you guys are just waking up. Scotland, Ireland, England, and Wales, and of course everyone else around the world. Welcome. Let's get straight into it. So here's the Hex pumping. Look at this thing, man. Woohoo! So looking really breaking the long-term resistance as well. Remember that yellow line, the orange line there is the long-term resistance. So everything is looking amazing on the Hex chart. Really cool. Over 7 cents. Smashed it actually. Got it to 7.3. Let's see. Hopefully it just edges its well up there. We have massive fundamentals. If you haven't seen my video, the window of opportunity, it shows you what's coming. And, of course, Icosa is coming very soon. We're going to get up to that in a minute or two. Just hold on for that one. We've got BTC at 24,600. We've got ETH at 1991. And they're all looking pretty good, right? All looking pretty good. ETH should actually continue to pump because it's got the the upgrade happening, the merge upgrade happening on the 19th of September. So that's coming up. So it'll be pretty good. Let's have a quick look at Hedron. Hedron obviously is at 3,584. Managed to get up to 3,800. This thing just continues to pump. And now it makes it look like the all-time high is more in view now. 7272. We're currently at 3584 on Hedron, and currently the price at 3838 is the high for the day so far. So this thing is definitely in range of trying to double itself now. As confidence comes in, we are counting it down to the Icosa launch. We're going to get into that Icosa for beginners. We're also going to look at some maths. Yes. Oh no maths. We're going to do some basic maths. You guys will love it. I guess if you're in crypto, you got to have at least some basic maths just the way it goes. So there we are. We're going to jump over to what else we're going to look at. We're going to look at Maxi in a second. So look at Maxi. Maxi at the moment, like a boss, is currently at 13 cents and has been as high as 13.4 cents. So Maxi looking good too. I have no idea what I just did then, but hey, way to go. What's the premium at the moment? Premium is 88%, so the premium has actually fallen versus X. Premium is down at 89%, so you can see it's definitely fallen. Got down to 87.5. Wow. So that's really come off its edge there. But meanwhile, Hex has really done really well. 7.3. Look at that. That's on the hourly there on Hex. Hedron looking like a boss. Man, it's great all around, isn't it? Great all around. So finally look at PLSD before we get into Hedron. We're going straight to Hedron. So hold on to that one. $6.54 for a Pulse Dodge, holding on to this uptrend here. And of course, the slightly more bullish angle here is holding so far. So let's watch that one. A bit of a pullback. It's come back in the RSI. I still think that it's still intact, and based on the chart, it's still intact there. Staking and deflation is still coming. So, all right, so that's the charts. We pretty much gunfired those, and we're going to get onto Hedron now. So let's do it. Hexoff says that Hedron is smoking hot. It absolutely is. Cato Natural House. Hi, Superman from London. Big shout out to you in London there. And Cryptomanic says, see at 8 cents, says Cryptomanic for Hex. Yeah. Hedron heading to the 4s, says Hex Softball. Yeah, heading to the 4s, and definitely, once it's getting up to the fact that all it needs is a doubling, in crypto, that means that's definitely a possibility. Although it's going to have to cool off a bit in the chart, so let's take that into account. Hexhog in the house in as well. Woo! Good to see Hexhog. Good morning, all from Hex Biker, of course. UK, big shout out, and of course, Hex Down Under. Happy Sunday, Superman. Hey, happy Sunday to you. What day is it? Yeah, is it still Sunday? Yeah, Sunday. Yeah. And smash up the likes and subscribe. Says Hex Opal. Awesome. All right, I think we've got a pretty good crew here. 45 people, so we're going to get into Hedron. Icosa, Icosa, I better slow down a little bit because start getting pumped up. I've had a bit of a sleep, so there we are. Here we are. This is Icosa. Nice. So I hope you guys like this. This is it in a nutshell. If you haven't got this form, definitely save it to your favorites. If you're looking to participate in Icosa, you should know this form upside down, this diagram, this chart, whatever you want to call it. You should know that upside down, that it is there. I've just posted the link in the chat there, so definitely copy and paste that and spend a bit of time studying that. We're going to go through it anyway. Hex Pest in the house, greetings. Greetings to you. Good to see you. All right, so we've got Hedron staking here. We've got there's four products on the Icosa DApp. There is Hedron staking. There is Icosa staking. There is HSI buybacks, and there are Wheel SA. So those are the four things. You can participate on all of them or none of them. You can participate in some of them. That's pretty much how it goes. Down the bottom, of course, we have Hedron and Icosa staking bonuses, and they depend on what size of supply that you are putting in. So that's down at the bottom here. And, of course, we also have HSI bonuses in here. So the HSI bonuses are for these. That's these ones here. They apply to the HSI buybacks. The Hedron Icosa staking applies to these here. And, of course, WhatsApp gets a copy of all the bonuses. So everything in yellow gold, that gets a copy. The copy goes to those who have got the NFTs. So very, very attractive for the NFT part of this platform. So it's going to be pretty crazy. I'd say HSIs are NFTs too, but this is the NFT for Icosa. So those are the four different things. So hopefully that's pretty clear for you. Now with Hedron staking, that means if you've got Hedron, maybe you've got a Hex native stake, you're earning Hedron every day. Every day that you serve your Hex stake, you get Hedron. And of course, you don't have to claim it or mint it, as we say, until you want to, spend it or transfer it or whatever you want to do. But now you also have the option of staking Hedron. And of course, that's huge. We've got about 85 trillion Hedron in the market. And of course, a lot of it's just sitting in wallets, doing not too much. A bit of it trades, buys and sells, or mostly selling at the moment. And so there we are. So Hedron, mostly buying, I should say, at the moment. Hedron staking there, you can mint Hedron. You can buy Hedron in the market, or you can borrow Hedron off HSI stakes. So that's one option that you have. is that you get an HSI stake on the Hedron platform, and you just borrow the Hedron of it, and you can then stake that. You can stake that. That's one option you could do. You have to pay back your Hedron within 90 days, meet your payments, that is, on 30-day basis. Besides that, you can do that. It's one option. Now, what happens when you get Hedron through any of these ways here, minting Hedron from native Hex stakes, or buying Hedron on the market, or borrowing Hedron from HSI stakes, you can stake your Hedron. That's that simple. And of course, you're going to earn Icosa for doing that, right? So that's cool. And then, of course, at the end of the period that you've set for your stake, you can then reclaim your Hedron there, which is cool. Then, of course, you can also have the option of topping up your Hedron staking if you want by adding additional Hedron to the stake. But if you do that, you will then have your minimum stake period will be reset. So let's say that you're not a whale, a shark, a dolphin, or a squid. You're below. You got less than 0.001% of the Hedron supply. Then your minimum stake period will be 30 days. So that's pretty much for the people that are staking Hedron the first 30 days. The only way they're going to get Icosa is by staking for 30 days. But you can emergency end stake. So if you do that, you will be able to get some of your Icosa out, but you could end up getting massively penalized depending how far through your stake you have gone. So we might see a few little people trying to, end stake maybe halfway through, 15 days through, or something like that is possible. But of course, if you are just going to keep your stake minimum 30 days, that's the way to go. And you can get that. Now, some people will be using multiple wallets. Some people will be doing multiple stakes, like a staking ladder, just depending on how much supply they've got. So it's going to be interesting to see. Now, if you're a dolphin, if you're a whale at the top here, you got greater than or equal to 1% of Hedron supply, then you have a minimum stake length that you must do 360 days, a 20% bonus you'll get for your yield, right? So shark with greater than or equal to 0.1% of Hedron supply, the minimum stake period length is 240 days with a 15% bonus. But the DApp's going to tell you all this, right? So when you're in the DApp, it will tell you, it will auto-calculate what you're doing and give you what bonuses that you're going to get. So it does all the thinking for you, but it's good to know this in any case. So dolphin greater than or equal to 0.01% of Hedron supply is a minimum stake length of 180 days with a 10% bonus on the Icosa yield. And the squids, there's greater than or equal to 0.001% of Hedron supply, minimum stake length 90 days, with a 5% bonus in Icosa yield. So it's a nice little bonus there. And everyone else is minimum bonus, but you get to get the compound your Icosa, right, and everything else, your Hedron there, so you can do all sorts of stuff like that. So that's kind of the bonuses there, Hedron plus Icosa staking bonuses. And of course, Watsa gets so this NFT, if you're holding these NFTs, you get a copy of all the bonuses that these people are getting. So if a whale stakes, you're getting that 20% copy. It's going into the reward pool for you, which is pretty juicy. On the other hand, of course, if you're looking at staking Icosa, to get Icosa in the first 30 days, the only way to get that is going to be through HSI buybacks. And of course, you have to put Hex into an HSI stake and then sell it to the Icosa contract. So you don't keep that Hex. Once you sell the HSI, you don't keep it, but you could buy it back later on in liquidation. And of course, you can also, so that's pretty much what you can do. So to get staking Icosa, you can do that. The other thing, of course, is that if you're selling Icosa if you're selling an HSI stake to get Icosa, you'll get a 10% bonus for selling a 5555 HSI stake, which is pretty nice. If you are lucky enough at the beginning to make an HSI stake that has a 1 to 10% bonus for the HSIs with Hedron launch bonus. So I think there's somewhere like maybe 7,000. I don't know how many were actually included a bonus. There may be several thousand that have HSI bonuses with 1 to 10%. But remember that up until the Pulse conference online, there were over 7,000 HSI stakes. So with about 350 million Hex staked through them. So it gives you an idea. There's probably several thousands of those. How many people have untouched them and what sort of stuff is questionable, but there's probably a few thousand of those. So they might be getting an extra 1 to 10% bonus if they have HSI with Hedron with the launch bonus. So it's just not too much. So that's just important to know. So cool. So there'll be some interesting bonuses there. Very cool. So that is staking Icosa and staking Hedron. HSI buybacks, of course, we're going to go through that on the DApp. So you can sell HSIs. This is where a lot of the activity is going to be. Obviously, people got tons of Hedron, 85 trillion Hedron. So we're going to find out how much percentage of all Hedron gets staked. That seems like a no-brainer, right? You got Hedron, you're going to earn a yield. You might as well stake it, right? So we'll see. I imagine it's going to be pretty good. Question mark over some of the really large whales, like the Origin account and the Hex God whale. Question over that. What they will do with their big supply, we'll find out. And the other thing, of course, is we've got the HSI buybacks. That's going to be very popular straight out of the gate, because the way to get the Icosa straight away, remember, it's starting off at 0, remember, is to sell HSIs and get Icosa. So this is going to be a big deal here. The other big deal is we are all SA. That's also going to be a mint phase over 14 days. So it's only one-off. This green is just a one-off phase. The rest, everything else keeps going on and on and on for pretty much ever. But we are all SA is only 14 days long. Once this is over, this part of the diagram is gone, except for the pool. The pool remains where people have got the NFTs in the pool, and they earn Icosa from that point of view. But the actual we are all SA minting NFTs, this phase part here, this will end in 14 days, and this here will remain. Of course, you'll be able to earn Icosa. And of course, it's a last man standing. So as soon as you capture the Icosa yield, which you can earn forever, you pull your NFT out. You're out of the pool. You're out of the game. You will no longer earn Icosa, and everyone else that's left will earn more Icosa, relatively speaking, and proportionally, and away it goes. So it's a last man standing. Last person. Imagine if there's one person left in the pool with an NFT, and they'll be accumulating Icosa forever. But if they want to capture that yield, they've got to also, the NFT will get burned and they will be out of the pool. Pretty much that's what's going to happen. It's going to be crazy fun. It is a fun part of this. Of course, it could be fairly lucrative as well. We will see. Now, a lot of people are going to make multiple NFTs, so maybe they want to capture some of the yield. Your best bet is to split up your allocation. Maybe you're going to got $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever. Maybe you got $50,000. Whatever you're going to do, you can break that up into multiple NFTs and just put in a certain amount. So obviously, you're going to be bidding in for a certain amount of points, and that's how much your NFT will have, and you'll be earning proportionally how much of the reward pool will be there. Now, remember, what we are all SA. SA means source account. We are all SA. They get a copy of all the bonuses there. It's pretty lucrative, plus Icosa there. So it's pretty cool on the overview. All right, so before we jump onto that, we've got the counting down here, UTC time. And let's refresh this just to make sure it's up and running. Let's go full screen. That is the time now. So obviously the official launch is 0 UTC time on the 15th of August. So we're counting down. We're just about 17 hours and 8 minutes to go. So 17 hours and 8 minutes to go until the official launch of this contract. So assuming Alex will be there on the button, Alex the dev, ready to push the contract. So it's really counting down. Just over 17 hours to go until the contract launches. So cool. All right, let's get on to the DApp. Here is the DApp, of course, and of course you haven't played around with that. Let me just paste this in the chat there. If you haven't played around with this, then there it is here. So Icosa DApp. This is on the Pulsechain test network. Obviously, when it goes live, this is going to be on Ethereum test on the Ethereum network. So it's all on Ethereum there as well. So remember that. But there is the DApp for sure. All right, we've got a few other people else here. Let's jump through some of these comments. Let's have a look here. We've got a few other people here. Hex Pest in the house. Greetings. Let's go get into it. Says Hex Down Under. Hex Down Under. Yep, let's get into it. Was it PLS Zen doing okay? That's cool. I'm happy for that. I still haven't got around to watching his videos. That's cool. InvestX says, morning, everybody. Hexsoft says, Silver the Antidote notes too. He talks about a 5.36 million buy wall, and Hedron will take out 2 more zeros. The 0004 says Hexsoft. Interesting insight there. Salmon SB says, good night. And St. George UT drive Sunday to Denver. Stop to see super low water level at the Hoover Dam. Transfer some rain suit, man. Nice one there, Sam. Jay in the house as well. Good to see you, Jay. Walked in Pulse 2, and what's it? Cindy says, when is a mint NFT? So I went through that time. We're about 17 hours to go until you can start selling, until you start minting NFTs for the Icosa NFT there. For a newbie, keep it simple strategy. What would recommend for a Hex staker to get into Hedron and Icosa? Well, you're talking about, just depends on a couple $100 or something like that. If you're talking about money, just a couple $100 would be at least to get in, to get your toes in the water. I now own HSI stake NFTs as DB, so that's cool. Yeah, quite a few people have got HSIs already, and are trying to get those ready for the contract when it goes live, to get Icosa as soon as possible so you can stake as soon as possible. So if we're coming back to this, if you've got Hedron, you just stake it. That's pretty easy to do, right? You could think about selling your Hedron, of course, and then using the funds to go into We Are All SA. You have different options that you can do. There's different things that you might want to do there. Cool. Otherwise, you can just stake your Hedron straight up. There's different ways of getting the Hedron. So whatever you got, you can do that. You will earn Icosa at the end of 30 days minimum if you fit that side there. Otherwise, if you've got Hex, you can make HSIs and put them in here. If you've already got HSIs from way back with some of the bonuses, you will get a launch bonus with that. But of course, if you do your stake for 5555, you'll get a 10% bonus in there. That will certainly lower your average cost there. So yeah, you can also do a staking ladder as well. So if you've got a really large amount of Hedron, you could do some sort of staking ladders as well. There's not going to be much Hedron, much Icosa around at the beginning, but you could think about that too. And We Are All SA, I suggest to you as a strategy, just picking up smaller amounts. So I don't know if you've got a couple $100, you split it into $50 NFTs, and then you'll be able to sell one of them down if you want to claim the Icosa, and maybe the Icosa price goes really, really high. You might want to do that. So there's different strategies about that. So if you've got large volumes of Hedron and stuff like that, you could use multiple wallets. If you wanted to stake certain staking strategies, I imagine that's really for large holders. For smaller people, you're mostly just going to be doing a minimum 30-day stake. That's pretty much it. What else? So, and if you're doing NFTs, I would just break your money up into multiple NFTs so you can claim them if you want to. In the future, you have flexibility. You won't be completely out of the pool. You'll still have some NFTs in there earning you Icosa yield forever. Remember, it's forever. So that's pretty cool. The HSI buybacks, of course, you will get Icosa from those and be able to stake those. Pretty nice. And then afterwards, once the market launches, we don't know how quickly it's going to happen. We expect it to be fairly illiquid at the beginning. So that's probably one of the things we just don't know what the prices will be. Probably pretty volatile, stuff like that. So we'll have to wait and see. All right, cool. So we've got the Hex DApp at the moment. On the Icosa DApp, we've got Hex, we've got Hedron. Let me get rid of that comment there. We've got Wookiee in the house there. Wookiees of Hedron bring the force to the Jedi to Icosa. Nice one there, Wookiee. We've got Tension in the house there. Hello, world. Good to see Tension. Excellent choice in the house as well. Good to see you as well. A big shout out to all of everyone there. All right, cool. So let's get into it. We've got Hex at the top here, which you can do everything you want to do on go.hex.com. You can do on this page. Well, not everything, but you can do a lot of stuff there. You can make a stake. So we're going to make a stake. How about that? We're going to make a stake here. We can also do on Hedron here. We've got the Hedron page. So Alex has integrated everything together. The Hex ecosystem, the Hedron, and the Icosa all on this one DApp. So you can do pretty much everything you need to do. And of course, we've got encapsulated stakes there and tokenized stakes. So remember, Hedron does encapsulated and tokenized. Tokenized means it's an NFT, becomes a 721 contract on Ethereum. It means you can transfer it out of your wallet. So that's pretty much that. The encapsulated stake just is basically like a wrapper. Imagine a wrapper. You put your Hex inside. The wrapper is a smart contract, and it just adds on extra functionality. So extra features that the Hex contract doesn't have, like borrowing Hedron and like tokenizing it into an NFT contract, things like that. So that's what those two things do. So this is the first stage, getting it wrapped, making a wrapped Hex stake with those new features of borrowing Hedron. The second one is tokenizing it into an NFT, so you can transfer that contract to another wallet, which will be the Icosa wallet if you're selling it down. So that's pretty much how that works. So we've got your normal Hex stakes where you can actually make a native stake, or you can make a Hedron stake. So you can create a stake here, and you can select the type and select HSI encapsulated. You don't want to select native. Native is just a normal kind of hex stake. If you're going to sell it to Icosa, you don't want to do that. You want to select the encapsulated one. Then, of course, you want to tokenize it. So you're going to have to go into the actions of that stake and then tokenize it. That's pretty much what you're going to have to do. So pretty easy. You can create a new stake, put the amount of hex in. I got 10,000 hex here. And of course, if I do a 5,555 day, I get a 10% bonus, remember, from our diagram. From our diagram here, I get a 10% bonus here. Now, I don't have any launch bonuses, so that some people might have those, but I don't have any launch bonuses. So this will be the only way of me getting a bonus by selling HSI is making my HSI a 5,505 day stake. Now, remember, I don't keep this. Once I sell it, I'm selling it to the Icosa contract. I do not own it anymore. I don't own the hex in it. I don't own the future income from the hex in it. I don't know anything of it once I sell it. Right, so that's pretty much that. So cool. And then we've got the Icosa page here. And this is what it's going to look like on Ethereum, but this is currently on the testnet on Pulsechain, but this is what it will be on Ethereum. The numbers will be real on Ethereum though. And as we know, it's launching in about 17 hours time. So it's going to be cool. Now, this will show you your liquid Icosa at the top. It will show you your liquid Hedron. It will show you your untokenized stakes. So these are the wrap stakes that we're talking about. And of course, it will also show or encapsulated stakes. And it will also show you your tokenized stakes. So these are the ones that we care about, because this is what we're going to be able to sell to the Icosa contract if we want to get Icosa first in the first 30 days. Remember that out of all these things here, the only way to get Icosa in the first 30 days is HSI buybacks. And that's why these are going to be pretty popular. And of course, this is running for 14 days. The only way to get NFTs ever in the future is only in the next 14 days. And so these you imagine it's going to be a bit of fireworks in these two. We'll watch out and see what this is like. So cool. All right, so that's kind of the overview there. That's Icosa staking on the top left, Hedron staking on the top right there. We got HSI buybacks at the bottom here, and then we've got We Are All SA. So if you want to get into the minted ones there, so you can see all those four different products they're sitting there in front of you. Pretty easy. Now we're going to do an example. Hopefully that was enough in terms of an overview. We're going to do an example there. Brian says, dunk out. See you, folks. Hey, Brian, appreciate it. A shout out. Catch you tomorrow. And Sia says, excellent choice. Nice one. All right, so let's get into it. All right, let's do it. Now, Hedron staking is fairly easy, right? So you can see I've got a stake running in there at the moment. So that's running pretty well. So if you've got, if you want to do other stakes, then you can use other wallets, right? So just remember that. You can use multiple wallets to do staking ladders and things. So it's up to you how you want to structure it. If you're just doing one stake, stuff like that. You can add to existing Hedron stakes by just adding to that. So if you've got more Hedron, you can add to that, but it's going to reset the days that I have. Just remember that. So cool. I can end stake too. I will get. It will let me know what my penalty is. So it will tell me my Icosa payout. It will tell me my Icosa penalty. Look at that penalty, massive. Because I've only served 2 days in the stake. I got a massive Icosa penalty. Remember that all the Icosa penalties go back to the rest of the staking pools. Of course, the Hedron principal penalty is also massive. So 140 million there. Basically going to kill. I'm only going to end up with 10 million Hedron, and the rest of the Hedron's going to go back to the Icosa staking pool there. Remember the Icosa staking pool. If we come back to here, it yields when you stake Icosa, you earn Icosa and Hedron. When you stake Hedron, you just earn Icosa. All right. I'll say that one more time. When you stake Icosa, you earn Icosa and Hedron. So 2 tokens. But if you stake Hedron, you only earn Icosa. So it's important to remember that. Don't get tripped up by that one. Easy one for that. All right. So cool. What it will tell you is, well, it will tell you the pool size. It will tell you what your ownership is of the pool in terms of staking. And it will also tell you the yield that you're getting as well. All right. So a yield bonus that you're getting. All right. I'm not getting any yield bonus in this one because it is too small. It's down in this size here. It's got none of these yield bonuses here. There's 5, 10, 15, 20%. It's got none of those, right? So not getting any of those in this particular example here on the testnet. Minimum day stakes 28. Minimum days remaining 28. So obviously I've still got 28 days to go. I'm going to get heavily penalized if I end stake this. So that's why when we come back to our diagram, we probably won't get too many people in this category in staking early to get Icosa. So really the majority of Icosa is going to come from people selling HSIs back to the Icosa contract. So in the first 30 days, it's the only way you can get it. That's why I keep reiterating it, because it's really the way there. All right, cool. And we don't expect a lot of WhatsApp people to, pulling out the NFTs, probably too much, I would say. So cool. That's what we can do there. And yeah, so we can definitely add that. I can add max there on that for one to start that up, but we're not going to do that. Anyway, Icosa staking there as well. You can add to the Icosa staking. You see I've got 645 Icosa staked at the moment. I've got 0.0041% of the pool. The pool size is 69 billion points there from the looks of it. And I've got a 5% yield bonus there. So I definitely managed to get squid amount of the pool. So let's go back to the squid here. So we're talking about staking Icosa here. Once you've got Icosa, that is. And I've got greater than or equal to 0.001% of the Icosa supply in the test network. And you can see there I've got 0.004. I need 0.001. I've got 0.4. So I got a 5% bonus for that. Very cool. And I've got these amount of staking points from my staking, which represents 0.004% of the pool, which is cool. I got minimum stake days 90 days, remember? So if I jump back to here, minimum stake days for a squid is 90 days. So that's me. And of course, the minimum stake days remaining is 88 days. So I've served 2 days. The accumulated Icosa yield is 145 Icosa, and accumulated Hedron yield is 4.9 million, almost 5 million Hedron. Remember, in Icosa, we earn 2 forms of yield. We earn Hedron and Icosa, whereas in Hedron staking, we only earn Icosa. Now, if I wanted to in-stake this, you would see I'd get massive penalty. If I only serve 2 days out of 90 days, I'm going to get absolutely smashed. My principal will get absolutely eaten up. It will be a horrific outcome, and you don't want to do it, right? So that's the case there. Don't accidentally keep clicking in-stake, and then say, I accidentally clicked in-stake because, you did it to yourself, really. So that's important there. So Icosa payout there, 3.23 was what I would get here, 109,000 Hedron. So absolutely obliterating my principal. So my Icosa principal penalty is massive, 631. Icosa yield penalty would be 142. And of course, the Hedron yield penalty, 4.8 million. So basically, I'd blitz my stake. So we're not going to do that. So cool. The other thing, of course, is we can add to the stake. If we had more more Icosa, we can add to it like this. We're going to get more points, and it's going to restart our stake at 90 days. All I have to do is add to the stake, and it will go to approve that in the MetaMask. And I've just done that, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to reject that. But you can see the idea. Pretty easy to do that. So cool. Nice, very nice. All right, so those are the 2 features you can do, and obviously you can set up multiple wallets and do different staking ladders and things like that to do different, depending on how much Hedron and Icosa you have, right? So Hedron's probably the bigger issue there, start off the bat there, but you have to think about the future from that regard. So that's cool. So those are the 2 main features for staking, but of course all the fun, those are going to be fun because you're going to earn Icosa and Hedron, but the real party at the beginning is going to be these 2 things, the HSI buybacks, because the only way to get to get Icosa at the beginning is to sell HSI buybacks. And of course, that's what's going to be really, really popular. The HSI protocol, the Icosa protocol will buy your tokenized HSI Hex stakes in return for Icosa. To tokenize your HSI Hex stakes, use the Hedron app. There we are. If you read it nice and slowly, it comes out okay. All right, so we got the total stake Hex here in the test network at 1,000 Hex, and of course that's my example there. Total stake shares 44.5 billion. Total advanceable Hedron 44 Hedron, and total Icosa value 0 Icosa there. So this is because the stake's worthless at the moment. This one here, so we're gonna have to make a new one, and this is the example we're gonna do. So we can go back up to Hedron here. We don't have to go to the Hex tab there. We can create encapsulated stakes up here, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go to the Hedron tab. You can see that I've got 10,000 Hex, and I bought that on the test network. So I went to Pulsechain exchange, and I bought that on the test network. You can see I actually sold some Pulsechain on the test network there to buy Hex. Remember, this is on the Pulsechain test network, but the actual Icosa is launching on Ethereum. So this is just to show you an example of how the DApp will work. So cool. So we've already got a 500 Hex stake for 5,505 days. This is already an encapsulated stake, but we're going to make another one just so you can see how it works. We're going to do 10,000 hex. We're going to do it for 5,555 days. And we're going to click HSI encapsulate Hedron. So this is what you want to do if you want to get Icosa in the first 30 days. And then this is the way to do it. By doing 555, we're going to get a 10% bonus. Remember, coming back to the bonuses here, Quattro Cinco, 10% for selling a 555 HSI stake. And that's what we're doing. We're selling that, and we're going to get Icosa in return. We no longer keep that Hex HSI stake. We're giving it away. We're giving away the principal amount. We're giving away the future earnings on that contract. But we do have the potential chance of buying that back later on the Hedron liquidations market if we were monitoring it close enough and we ended up winning. But we have to pay Hedron to buy that, right? And that Hedron will get burned. We will get the HSI stake. So there is a potential chance of you buying it back, but you will not get it back for free. So just remember that. All right, cool. That is pretty much it. So we're going to do 10,000 hex stake there for 5,505 days and get that 10% Icosa bonus. We're going to make sure it's an encapsulated stake, not a native stake. That is the traditional stakes that we have in Hex. It has no extra features, just the standard Hex features there. But we're going to do encapsulated, which means that we can borrow Hedron against it and we can tokenize it and things like that. So what are we going to get? We're going to bigger pays better bonus of 0.06 hex, longer pays better bonus of 20,000 hex. Those are our effective hex. And of course, we got our stake shares, 1.31 T shares are there as well, or 1,310 B shares is the other way of looking at it. So we're going to click stake on that one. We're making an HSI stake encapsulated. This is the first step. Remember, we've got 2 steps to encapsulate a hex and then as a stake and then to tokenize it. Those are 2 steps. This is the first one out of those. So we're going to confirm that on the blockchain. You can't see that, but we're just going to confirm that on the blockchain. And I'll pull up the wallet there so you can see that as well. So there we are. We just had a contract interaction. It went so fast because on Pulsechain, it was so fast it's already gone. Bam, there it is. And you can see it on the bottom there. These are our hex stakes and encapsulated stakes here. 10,000 hex, 5,505 days, 1.31 T shares. No Hedron bonus there. No mintable, so no Hedron bonus. So we've got nothing there for that. Let me just jump away from here. So no Hedron bonus. Mintable Hedron is 0. Bonus Hedron is 0, but advanceable Hedron is 7.3 million Hedron. And of course, that is what the Icosa contract wants. They're going to borrow that and then pay that back to stakers, staking Icosa. And of course, they're going to then send this in HSI after we sell it to them. The Icosa contract is going to send it to the liquidation market because it's going to default on its payments after 90 days. So we don't care about that. That's what they're going to do. But of course, we can then go and buy it if we got Hedron to do that. All right, so cool. Now we've got actions here. We're going to have to click the actions, and of course, we'll be able to tokenize this encapsulated stake. This is our second step, so we're going to have to tokenize it. Let's go. And of course, we've got 10,000 hex, 1.31 T shares, or 1,310 B shares. Total mintable Hedron 0, mintable Hedron 0, bonus Hedron 0. We're just going to click tokenize HSI. Yep, and it's going to bring up a MetaMask ticket. Remember, this is going to be on Ethereum, so it's going to cost you a few little dollars, although it's very cheap. Gwei is very low at the moment, like 6 Gwei. Let's see if it's is that low when the contract launches. But that's pretty much the way it's going to go. Cool. Just waiting for that to process. So that is contract interaction happened. You just saw that there. Boom. And of course, the hex has gone out of your wallet. So I had 10,000 hex somewhere here. There, I had 10,000 hex. It's gone. And of course, now we've got an encapsulated stake down here. Has now become a tokenized stake. So that's the 2 steps you need to do. So you saw us create one. We created a encapsulated stake, then went to the actions button, and then we tokenized it. That's it. That's all we've done so far. And so now we have a tokenized hex stake here, and away we go. So I might have to refresh this. Let me refresh this page. Let's do, yeah, there. So I have to refresh the page, but now I've got the 10,000 hex stake down there, 5,505 days. And we're ready to sell this. We're ready to sell this to the Icosa contract. So now we're going to go from the Hedron page down to the Icosa page, and we're going to see the fact that we've now got 2 HSI stakes up on the top right there, but only one of them is worth anything. The other one is got nothing, hardly anything in it, so it's pretty worthless. All right, so we've got this. Here's our new stake here, 5,505 days. and we're going to then sell it. So it's already telling us how much Icosa we're going to get. So it's telling us we're going to get 354.63 Icosa. So that's pretty much what it's telling us going to get. So that's pretty cool. Now, I'm just going to go to my spreadsheet here. Boom. And I'm pretty sure, making sure that lines up. It's probably going to be a little different because the T-shares rates are a little different. Yeah, so currently I think at a 10,000 hex for 5,505 days, so what we call a Quantro Synchro there, is going to give us, around about that many T-shares, which is about right, with the borrowable hedge one. It's a little different because they're using a slightly different number to draw from. I'm using actual numbers from the real Hex contract. So 310, so yeah, 10% bonus for the 555 stake. We're going to get 341 Icosa approximately. And it's going to cost us, $700 to do that in real US dollars. And of course, so if we take the US dollars divided by the amount of Icosa that we're going to get, that gives us a cost price of about $2 per Icosa. So that's kind of the idea there. And of course, other people will have different cost prices because if they've got bonuses in them, 1 to 10 bonuses can be slightly different. If they did their HSI stakes ages ago and they got the claim but launch bonuses. So remember that. The other thing, of course, is some people, so that's just the way it might go there. Yeah, some people might have much lower bonuses there. So that's pretty cool. All right. So that is pretty much it. So probably looking around, somewhere around that $2 price. Some people will have cheaper prices, maybe $1.70, $1.80, something like that. So people don't have different prices for their Icosa. So it's going to be interesting to see how the market, whether the market gets to something like this in terms of prices for Icosa. So it's going to be pretty cool to see that. All right, cool. So anyway, we're going to sell this HSI. We're going to get 354.63 Icosa. And of course, we're going to hope that when the market goes live, the Icosa is going to be worth this much money, right? We're going to hope that the Icosa is going to be worth at least our break-even price. At least if not straight away at some stage, because that's otherwise we're out of the money, right? Don't forget that we're also not only are we selling the HSI, but we're also giving away our future revenue from that future yield from the Hex stake, right? So remember that. So cool. We're going to sell the HSI. We're going to get Icosa. We're going to earn Icosa and Hedron for the trade-off. We won't be earning the Hex for that. So cool. Now, but remember, all the Icosa and Hedron are all tied into the Hex share rate. So the share rate is inflationary. It's going up and to the right. So hopefully over time, that's going to put price pressure on the Icosa as well. So it's going to start off scarce. And it's going to have it's linked to the T share rate there. So on average over time, hopefully that's going to push the price up. That's kind of the idea. So we got HSI token ID here. So 1581s we're 1581 here. We've got the total Icosa value, 354 Icosa. We've got the Quattro Cinco bonus in there, which is 10%. We don't have any Hedron launch phase bonus. Remember in the diagram, that is 1 to 10%. We don't have that. So that's cool. We didn't do an HSI, back in the launch phase. We're just doing it now live. You are selling the HSI to the Icosa contract in return for the quoted amount Icosa. This HSI will be removed from your position and later be liquidated in the Hedron liquidation auction. So remember, you are giving this away. So you put your precious Hex in there. You are now, backing or speculating on Icosa and the Hedron ecosystem from that point of view, right? So that's kind of remember what you're doing here. This HSI will not be returned to you. You must have no expectations of profit or work of others. You will need to make an HSI approval before you can sell it to the Icosa contract, and we're going to do that. So I'm just going to click approval single, and we're going to confirm that, and that's going to go through on the contract here under activity at the top here. So we're approving token spent, and you can see that that's already done. So it's not because it's so fast on the Pulsechain, it's going really fast. So that's cool. So now so there's 2 steps. First, we approve the sale, and then we actually sell it. That step 2 is we actually sell it. And so the first step is really allowing them to take the NFT out of our wallet, pretty much. So that's it. And away we go. So sell the HSI. Yep, we're going to sell the HSI. And now it's going to pull up another MetaMask ticket. So you can have 2 transactions for this. So if you think about it, you've probably had 4 transactions to do this stake. So you wouldn't want to have the value too low is probably a guess there. There we are, contract interaction. So it's processing and it's done. So cool. So that is gone now. It's gone. Woohoo! So it's gone. But what did I get in return? I'll have to refresh here. Refresh the top of the page. We have got Icosa in return. Yay! We've got 334 whatever Icosa. It's up in our top of our wallet now. What can we go do with that? Of course, we can go and stake it. Obviously, I've already got a stake here. I could transfer it to another wallet and stake in another wallet, or I can just top up this wallet here, this stake, but I'll have to restart my minimum stake days. So you might need to think about using multiple wallets mechanisms. Of course, it's pretty easy to do in the MetaMask. You just set up another wallet, transfer it to there, for example, but you'll need some ETH fees, ETH in those wallets for fees and things. So that's kind of thing that you can do. So pretty cool. That is pretty much that. Now, the other thing we're going to do is a WhatsApp. We are all SA, and of course, mint NFTs. We're going to get into that. That is the second thing we're going to look at. And of course, this is going to be fireworks. This is only running for 14 days. That's it, 14 days. And it's a bit like the AA lobby that we had for Hex. And you can use Ethereum, USDC, Hex, Hedron, or Maxi. So 5 tokens you can use to go into this We Are All SA mint phase. And it's only 14 days. After this, there's no more NFTs, and that's it. Whoever's in is in, and then whoever gets out is out, and the pool of people just gets smaller and smaller. But whoever's in there earns Icosa forever, and of course they get some pretty nice bonuses from the rest of the staking system. Any bonuses that people get for Icosa staking or Hedron staking, that goes in, they get a copy of all that into the Icosa, into the We Are All SA, or what we call WhatsApp there, WhatsApp. So it's going to be fireworks. You can see straight away the HSI buyback is going to be pretty much fireworks straight out of the gate. And also We Are All SA. How much is going to go in there? Is it going to be millions of dollars worth of these ETH and USDC and Hex and Hedron and Maxi? How big is this going to be? We're going to find out. It's going to be pretty intense. But of course, we've seen, I think we've already seen some movement in all the charts there showing, the aggressive behavior from the market on this one. So cool. What have we got in here? We've got, I've got a token ID here at the moment. The minting phase has ended on the Pulsechain test network, so I can't actually show you minting an NFT. But I do have an NFT here already, token ID number 100, which is a pretty early one, as you can see. Minted on the day 154. It's got 1 billion points in it, and of course the Icosa yield 46.75 Icosa is the yield there at the moment. So pretty cool. We've got the pool size there on the test net was 39 T points there, or I think it's trillion points. I think it's the denomination there. The average NFT size 77 B points, and of course my pool ownership was relatively small. I think that still qualifies as a squid though, 0.0025%, and the total supply 506 watts of NFTs actually got minted in the Pulsechain testnet version 2. So this was version 2 of the Icosa DApp, 506 NFTs. But in reality, when we actually have the real thing, there could be thousands and thousands of NFTs minted. It could be potentially millions, tens of millions of dollars going there. Who knows? We're going to find out. And of course, pretty easy to do. But the minting button is off, so I can't show you that part. But there we are. Basically, you just click the mint there. You're going to put in one of those tokens, US Ethereum. So you're going to have to prove, first of all, the spend of your ETH, USDC, Hex, Hedron, or Maxi. You're going to have that in your wallet. And then you're going to have to prove that. And then it's going to spend it. And then it's going to issue an NFT. That's pretty much it. Now, I do have older video when I did do this. So you can watch that on one of the older videos. And pretty easy to do. But once you actually have the NFT in place, you are in the pool of a very exclusive club of people called We Are All SA. How exclusive? We're going to find out how exclusive in that 14-day mint period, which is going to be starting in only a few hours' time. So not long to go. Less than 17 hours to go is pretty much it. So 00 UTC time on the 15th of August, it's going to all happen. And I imagine it's going to be a bit of fireworks as well. So cool. Now, once I've got this in here, maybe I've decided you can do multiple times. So I would suggest if you're going to do like $1,000, you could do 4 NFTs at $250. Remember, you do have a fee on Ethereum for this. So just take that into account. Once you've approved it, you've got to, once you've approved a particular currency, you only do that once. Should be able to take that out as long as you've got your limit in there. Maybe you say, I'm going to do $1,000, approve this limit for $1,000. And then, of course, you do 4 amounts of $250, something like that. That gives you 4 NFTs. That gives you flexibility. It means that if you want to capture some of that yield, you can pretty much destroy your NFT and catch a $250 worth of Icosa yield that you've accrued, and then you've still got your $750 of NFTs still left. You've still got 3 NFTs, and you still keep earning that Icosa forever as long as you're in the pool. As soon as you're out of the pool, you're out. That's pretty much it. So pretty cool. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. Yeah, I'm excited. Hope you guys are too. Yeah. So you're in it to win it. You unstake yourself, you're out. So if you click actions and you can redeem the Icosa, you are out of the pool. So that's pretty much what happens here. It's going to populate this. If I do want to redeem, it's going to bring this up. Redeem what's the NFT. It's going to tell me my yield. When you redeem a what's the NFT, you will receive the Icosa yield. However, the NFT itself will be burnt and will no longer accrue future Icosa yield. This is a permanent action. It cannot be undone. Redeem NFT. Once I do that, of course, this Icosa is going to show up in my wallet. That's what would happen there. And of course, I can also transfer this. So maybe I want to do an OTC. I could OTC sell this token to somebody, and I could sell it that way. And maybe sell that too. And you can transfer your NFT recipient address there. You can put that in too. So maybe you want to give it away to somebody. So there's a few options there. Alex has thought of a lot of cool things. So nice there. Once you get NFT, you can transfer it to wallet, right? So it's kind of cool thing that you can do too. All right, so those are kind of the highlights there. Now, obviously, we've got, you can calculate stakes here. This is the 10,000 stake here. Gives you the amount of T-shares, shows you the cost. Now, remember, when you're selling your HSI stake, you've got actual real Hex in it. So this one here is 10,000 Hex at the moment is worth $670. And, of course, you are going to forego $3,000 worth of interest based on this estimate because this is a 5,555 day stake, right? So you can see the 555 days. So just remember that you are selling you are getting in speculating Icosa and Hedron versus the Hex payout. Just when you're selling your HSI, so it's a very real opportunity cost there. But of course, if Icosa and that do extremely well, Hedron you're getting paid, of course, do well. Then you could maybe completely outdo the interest that you might earn over a 15-year period on Hex there. So let's just take that into account. All right, cool. That is it. And of course, we've got the formula there. Icosa cost per Icosa might end up being your cost price $2, but there'll be a variation of prices there. Who knows what that will end up being? Here, of course, is the original Hedron DApp, which is still operating. Remember, when you sell an HSI stake, you can also make one here. You can make one on the Hedron DApp here as well. And of course, what happens is that the HSI, the Icosa contract, once you sell it to it, is going to then borrow. It's going to borrow the Hedron from it, and that's going to go back to people that are staking, right? So that people that are getting Icosa, they've got staked, they're going to get Hedron, and that's coming from that contract. Once the contract fails, it's going to go into liquidations, and then there'll be advanced to default, and then active liquidations there. This is on Pulsechain, so I'd have to flip over to Ethereum, but that's kind of the idea there. Cool. Let us jump into it. We've got a couple more comments. I'm going to play a couple of video insights as well. They're well worth listening to. Clippy says, Superman is the new Ivan on Texas, Clippy. That's pretty funny. Francis in the house there. Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing, gentlemen? Says Briz. Always good to see Briz in the house. We've got Neil and Barara as well. Hello. Good to see you as well, Neil. Can I do one WhatsApp per wallet? You can do as many as you like, Neil. I don't think there's any limit as well. Multiple WhatsApps. Says Briz, that's right. 14-day is the mint phase. It's over in 15 days. It's like a short AA lobby for 14 days, and then it's over. There will be no more NFTs after that. Whoever owns NFTs will own that pool. Remember, they get a copy of all the bonuses as well from the Icosa Hedron staking. It's going to be pretty fun to see that. I imagine it's going to be some pretty serious money going in there. So it's my guess. I could be wrong, but this is my opinion. But yeah, it's going to be pretty crazy to see that. Now we're going to play a couple of updates here, videos from Alex, just to give you a bit of insight into some of the big things here. So obviously in the first 30 days, the only way to get Icosa, as I say, I can't reiterate enough, is through that mechanism. And let me just cancel out there. Is to get to sell HSI stakes. Let me get to that one. Here we go.
Do you want to explain why these first 30 days of Icosa are so special? Yeah, what about it is like really unique?
Yeah, so the fun part about Icosa that's very different from Hedron is Hedron came out and then it was just like everyone can have all these tokens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Icosa is the exact opposite. Icosa comes out and no one has anything. There's not even like a centralized address, no SA, no OA, zero supply starting out.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want Icosa day one,
Mm-hmm.
well, a lot of people will think, okay, well, I'm gonna go stake some Hedron. You can do that, but the smallest stake length minimum is 30 days, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if you end it before that 30 days is up, you're going to have a penalty. So the only way to get it within that 30-day period without penalties is to do the HSI buyback,
yep.
right? So you have to give something up of value into the contract in order to get that immediate liquid Icosa. And most likely, you're not going to want that Icosa to be sold from you. Like if you're not going to stake it, if you're not a staker, you're not going to want to sell that Icosa for less than it cost you to make it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're probably not going to like willingly put it in liquidity positions where you're going to just lose it all for less than what it cost you. So what that means is, on the flip side of that, is that Icosa staking pool, there's not going to be a lot of supply. Basically, everyone's going to be a whale, and it's going to get the same rewards that the Hedron pool gets in Icosa. Mm-hmm. So like it's going to just be this super lucrative thing. Like we may see like triple digit yield percentages per day. It's a possibility in that pool just because.
Yeah. So just pausing it there, there could be some pretty high yields in the pool straight out of the gate, and so a lot of people are going to be chasing that too. Obviously, the more people go in, the lower the yield's going to go down.
So supply of Icosa starting out.
Triple digit daily, that's nothing to scoff at.
No, like if you could put in 100 coins and then tomorrow it's 400 coins, you'd be happy with that. So like it's gonna be kind of nutso in the Icosa staking pool. And when that happens and we find out what those rates are, and if they're as high as I think they're going to be, like triple digits is like, it's possible, but it may not happen if enough people FOMO into HSI buybacks, right? But
that would be great though.
Yeah, but if only like, I don't know, like 20 people go into HSI buybacks, well, you're gonna see. You're probably gonna see triple digit per day.
Mm-hmm.
But if you see that, like that's the good thing, right? Is like, because if people outside of that ecosystem see, oh crap, like this token's earning like 400% per day yield, I want to buy it. Well, what happens to the price when you don't want to sell it below what it cost you? Mm-hmm. And everyone wants it because it's getting 400% per day. It's like, well, it probably goes above the arb point.
All right, so that was the first insight there from Alex there. There's another quick one. We're going to have a quick look related to the same topic, and that is how much Icosa you get for your HSI. So let's look at that.
I don't think we've talked exactly on the formula for HSI buybacks, but it's the T-share is taken into account twice in that formula. And so you lock in your T-share rate and you have it ready to go right off the bat, independent of whatever ratio price we see on day one.
Yeah, so it's like, just to go into that, like the math for how much Icosa you get from HSI is the borrowable Hedron that it has divided by the Hex share rate at the time, right? And that's how much Icosa it will give you. But the like important piece of that is your borrowable Hedron's also determined by how many shares your stake has, right? It's like you want your stake to have as many shares as possible. So you want to create it earlier, and then if you're going to do HSI buyback, going in earlier is also better than later because the share rate will go up during that time and decrease the payout. So it basically does it twice.
All right, so there's some really key insights into there. Basically, Icosa, the first 30 days, HSI buybacks are going to be the way to get Icosa. It's going to be very rare compared to Hedron, which is a lot of Hedron, 85 trillion Hedron. It'll be very, very extremely rare, starting from zero on Icosa there. So it's going to be fun to see that play out. The second thing, of course, is that the rate that you get will be based on the borrowable amount of Hedron. And of course, that depends on, you know, how many T shares you've got basically. And of course, when you get T shares, there's a particular share rate at that time. Of course, share rate goes up and to the right, just keeps going. So there's going to be a little difference there. Now, with that, of course, when you have that calculation, the total borrowed hedron, and you've got this in the spreadsheet here, is that if you've got a borrowable hedron on, say, 10,000 hex here for 5,505 day stake, so in this example, it's about 5.2 million. And the one we just did earlier, it's slightly higher because they're using slightly different numbers, but it's pretty close. And of course, you can see that you will get this formula here, which is basically borrowable hedron there divided by the share rate, the T share rate at the moment. So this is the global T share rate for Hex, and that gives you the amount of Icosa. But of course, if you sell a 555 stake, you get a 10% bonus. So you can see the 10% bonus there, and that gives you around about 341. It's a little slightly different from the numbers that we had in the actual DApp. That's because they're drawing slightly different numbers, but these are based on the actual numbers of the Ethereum blockchain. So that's cool. And then, of course, it's going to cost you a certain amount of dollars for that HSI stake. That excludes the fees, of course, for setting it up. And of course, if you take the amount of Icosa divided by the, take the amount of dollars that the HSI cost you divided by the Icosa that you're getting, it gives you a cost per Icosa. So you're hoping that Icosa gets at least to that point to break even just your cost. But of course, this cost doesn't include your opportunity cost of all that future hex that you might have earned, right? So if you go to a calculator, that would be worth, $3,000 compared to your principal around $700. So you can see what I mean. You're actually foregoing that. That's in the future, though. You're going to wait. That's got a time value to it. You're going to wait 15 years to accumulate all that, right? So this is the offset there, whereas the Icosa is the shorter term view. So it's cool, but you don't have to work out the math for that, unless you're going to, want to work out your cost price. But you've got to the actual DApp will calculate the amount of Icosa you're going to get for your HSI stake. So there we are. But that's the formula. Cool. The next thing, of course, is we always say we've got a little insight video for this too. So those two previous videos were really about HSI, the insights around that. But we've got a cool one here on the Watser as well. So let's get into this.
Yeah, we're all that say. So the fun part about it is it's effectively a hedron stake, kind of, right? It performs the same idea. It's like you throw some funds in and you get Icosa yield. So how that works is it can be ETH, WETH, so wrapped ETH, USDC, Hex, Hedron, or Maxi. Those are the accepted currencies. You throw those in that pool, and it's a lot like the Hex adoption amplifier. You don't get those back, but what you're effectively doing is you're buying an NFT. So it's this code, it's in the contract, you run it yourself. You can only mint your own NFT. No one can mint it for you. No work from others, that kind of thing. So you get this NFT, and what this NFT does is it accrues Icosa yield. So it gets what's written into the NFT is like how many stake points did this have, which is based upon what you bought it for. So like, for example, like $1 worth of something is roughly 1 million stake points. So you have 1 million stake points, and let's say that's like 10% of all, like only $10 went into it, and you get 10% a day. Yeah, I know, right? That'd be great. But you would get 10% of the yield every day that happens in this pool, and it's isolated from the Hedron and Icosa staking pools. It's its own.
But it's the same amount.
Yeah, but it's the same amount, exactly. So, like, let's say there's 10,000 Icosa every day going into that pool. Well, you're going to get 1,000 Icosa. That NFT is going to accrue 1,000 Icosa every day.
Yep.
And the beautiful part about Where All the SA is after 14 days, you can't create them anymore. Like, the ability to do that is removed. So you have this like 14-day window where you can create these NFTs, and then afterwards, no one can make them anymore, which means you can't be diluted. Right? After 14 days, no one can eat more shares of the pool because you can't create any more shares in the pool. But here's the tricky part. This thing's accruing 1,000 Icosa per day, and you want that Icosa. Well, you have to burn your NFT. You have to destroy it, which means it won't earn yield anymore. It's just poof, gone. But you did get your yield. So what this is kind of like a crypto game of chicken or King of the Hill, where
can you describe it like a reverse hourglass game, something like that?
Yeah, reverse hourglass game. That's a good idea. That's a good analogy. So, everyone's in there. They want to stay in as long as possible because they want as much yield as possible. But at some point, they're going to want to cash out. And when they do, they can't go back. They can't go back into the pool. So what that means is like, okay, they cashed out, but because their shares are proof gone, everyone else's yield just went up because now they all own more bigger percentages of the pool. So eventually there'll be one guy standing, like one last man standing, who's getting 100% of pool yield. And
they can't get it unless
he ends it, but he'll be getting all of it. So will he end it? I don't know. Like those are questions. But so it's like this like time. It's like a adoption amplifier that's like time delayed, and you choose the time. The longer you wait, the more it'll accrue.
All right, so some cool insights there from those 3 videos. That one was about Icosa, so it's going to be fun to see. Now, one of the things I want to talk about Hedron and Icosa just quickly is that there's going to be a variable yield. It's also going to be related to auction volumes, so it's going to be interesting to see that over time. It's still going to mean that Icosa is going to be relatively, relatively scarce from that point of view, at least up to a point as it accumulates. Remember, it is ultimately tied to the Hex T-share rate, meaning that that's got that deflationary issue from that point of view, since the share rate just goes up and to the right there. So deflationary inflation, I guess is the way you call it, something like that. I think that was pretty it I had at the time. So far, up to Pulse conference online that Matt Allen did, there was about 7,000 HSI stakes that were made. About 700 of those were turned into NFTs. So this is going to be an absolute boom for NFTs on the we are all SA and so the buybacks here for HSIs. So it's going to be pretty bit of a boom there. So whatever we had at that stage is going to absolutely get blitzed. But how much Hex is going to go into it's going to be amazing. We had 350 million Hex over 13-year average stake length, and so these numbers are going to boom. How much are we going to get Hex going into HSI stakes? That's in addition to what's already gone in. Are we going to get 150 million Hex overall? What is it going to be? How much is going to buy on the market? We already know people are buying on the market on Hex. We can see that in the chart. We get nice buy pressure as well. We can see the stake numbers have been going up really dramatically in the Hex daily stats, which we can presume that a lot of people are making HSIs. I know a number of people have told me they're making a number of HSI stakes to sell to Icosa contracts. So people are participating, and it's going to be interesting to see over those, over the future, because HSI selling HSI is going to be open for a long time. Obviously, it may taper after the initial opening, but it's going to be interesting. And we've seen some pretty massive, staking numbers coming in and already in the lead up to Icosa launching. So we'll keep watching these numbers as well. It's going to be pretty fun. And of course, you can also see the Icosa whale bot too, which I'm going to have a look, see if I can find that. There's the Icosa whale bot, and that's also up there. I don't know if I've actually followed on this account, but it's around as well. You can see new HSI stakes coming into play. So yeah, you can find those. Let me just have a look. It's going to, not sure if we've got the link actually up on that. Let me just have another look here. Not sure what it's called actually. Icosa whale bot, something like that. I'm not sure if that's if I got the link to that one. No. Yeah, I'm not sure if we've got the link to that one, but it's definitely a whale bot here somewhere. It's got on my other Twitter account. Just can't remember the name of it. Let me just jump over here and see if I can find it. I'm not even sure I've got Twitter open, but we'll see. Hedron whale bot. That's probably because I put the wrong thing in. That's why. Hedron whale bot. Yeah, that's what I wanted. So found it. Okay, cool. Hedron whale bot. Bam. And I am following. Oh, I am following it. How about that? So it's cool. We've got the Hedron buys and sells through this whale bot, so it's definitely worth following. I'll post this in the chat if you're not following that, because it's probably kind of cool to follow the actions there as well. We've got a few people in the chat there. More Hex, what's up? Finally caught a live stream. Love your streams. I appreciate that more. We've been actually pumping it out the last couple of days, haven't we? Particularly, Brendan says, "Damn, looked at Hex a couple of hours ago at 7.3 cents, now back down." Yeah, well, Hex is back trying to fight its way back up again. And of course, what else we got going on there? We've We've got Hedron at 3,472. So it's trying to march itself way back as well. We will get volatility when it's trying to move up, reasonably strong like this. No surprises there. 11 minutes ago, 40 million Hedron sold. So you got Hedron sold. I'm just trying to look for some of the this had HSIs on it too. Maybe it's on. Actually, it's probably on the Hex whale bot. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. No, there it is. Okay, new HSI 323,000 Hex stake for 5555. Presumably, this is the kind of stakes that you might end up seeing going in, being sold into the HSI stakes, right? So this is what I'm looking at there. That's an hour ago. So what else there? We've got lots of buys of Hedron and sells. Just having a look for HSIs though. Almost, I think there might be an HSI one. I just can't remember now. We got new HSI here 3 hours ago, stake for 5 days. There's a very good chance that these ones here, with the Hex in here, there's a lot, decent amount of Hex in there. That is going to be sold. It's a pretty reasonable expectation. May not be. Maybe it's just going to stand alone as a native, HSI. So yeah, 5 hours ago. So cool. You can follow that yourself though. So I imagine this is going to get pretty busy in the next few days. This whale bot. So yeah, 100,000 Hex there, stake for 5 days for 5 hours ago. So that's cool. So we may see more of these. So there's another one there. 300,000 Hex stake for 555. So presumably a lot of these people are getting ready. And of course, what this means is that all this Hex that's coming in, going in HSIs is getting off the market. So long term, that's good for Hex. But short term, it's potentially a proportion of that Hex that's being used to put into the HSI stakes is buying on the market and buying Hex on the market. So it's good for the Hex price. So Hex is going to battle its way up here. And so, yeah, it's starting to get a bit steeper. Once we get starting to get steeper, we're going to get these big wick downs where people are selling to buy, selling, you know how it works. Yeah, cool. All right, so let's have a look at the bigger picture, though. Let's pull up our waterfall chart. This is giving us a view of how this is impacting Hex over time. So boom, and here we go. So we've got this back on May 2021. We've got the public amount of circulating supply. We got the Pulsechain sacrifice, the Pulsechain sacrifice, lots of other stuff happening there in 2021. And of course, we got Hex Investment Trust, Hedron HSIs, 350 million so far through that. And of course, that's going to boom now with Icosa launching. And because the only way to get Icosa is to sell HSIs, lock up Hex that way. And then we're going to look forward to Maximus coming out after this. So Maximus coming out, potentially eating, added up 300 million Hex. And then, of course, we might get, I don't know how much we're going to get HSIs, 150 million through, maybe more. It's going to be interesting. We're going to find out. We're definitely on that whale bot there. We're seeing HSIs locking up Hex here. And, of course, this may absolutely boom in the next few weeks. So watch out, folks. We could see some amazing stuff. Could be modest outcome. Could be absolutely amazing. So we'll find out. And then, of course, we're going to have Maximus come out 600 million as well. So we've got Icosa, HSI sells, Maximus. Maximus may do well up to the upside. Maybe it's going to launch at the end of August. Maybe it's going to be in the first half of September at the Pulsecon launch. We don't know. We're going to find out. But both of these looking super bullish, removing the circulating supply of Hex and putting some buy pressure on the Hex price locally, like now. It's going to be good all the way through, potentially through to mid-September or something. So it could be pretty fun to watch, see how this plays out. And then we've got many more other things coming in the future, as you can see in the chart there. Many things coming up. So cool. Very nice, as we say. Are you excited? I'm excited, man. This ecosystem is just pumping. And we've got Power City Flex coming up later on too in the year. That's going to be a lot of fun too. Hex Enthusiast's got a little video there. How much do we need to get Hex to $100? Looks a bit funny there. All right, cool. Now, obviously, you can play around on PulseX test network here and play around with the Icosa DApp if you want to practice before doing the real thing. You can definitely do that. DB Cooper in house. Hi, all. It's all good. Good morning from Bulgaria. Hex Buffer in house. Good morning to you. Good morning from London. Today is a big day, says Crypto Stylist. Absolutely is. Absolutely is. DB, hi. Cloudy4 in house as well. Hi to you. Alex, would you be able to talk? Alex, would you be able to talk about the pros and cons of HSI buybacks and the what's NFT? Trying to figure out the strategy on how to allocate my investments, says Crypto Style. So Crypto Styles, Alex is not on here. Those were pre-recorded videos. So Alex is not on here. We have been talking about that though. So yeah, you have the opportunity to, we have talked about a lot of that stuff on the earlier live stream, so we'll probably jump through that. Pulsechain in here. Hey man, just quickly for what's a pool NFT, can I have more than one NFT? Yes, you can. Like put $100 worth of Hedron today, tomorrow $100, yeah, and you can get multiple NFTs. You can do that. That is definitely a thing you can do. Rothko can get your t-shirts as soon as possible, says Rothko, yeah. Pulsechain, hi, for what's an NFT pool? Can I have more than one? Yeah, I think we answered that one. Cool. What else there? More? How many Hedron do you need to get the squid status in staking pool and staking? Well, you need a certain amount of the pool. So a certain amount of pool is on this diagram here. So to become a squid there, greater than or equal to 0.001% of Hedron supply, and it will calculate that for you in that terms. What else? Hex Turbo, Hedron whale box. Yeah, finally got that. Thanks to Hex Turbo, did get it at the end. Thanks. There's more Hex. You're welcome. Francis in the house as well. Good to see Francis. Woohoo! All right, cool. I think we got through all those. Here is the DApp there, so you can actually practice that on the Pulsechain test network. So definitely play around with that. And of course, PulseX exchange, you can play around and buy some actually Icosa version 2 as well. You can actually play around with that. Icosa is trading on here at the moment. Icosa in V2. That's number 9. All you have to do is click on that and click the trade button, and you can buy some with whatever other tokens you might have. Cool. And yeah, we may see a market price early on. We may not. That's just the way it goes. Icosa is going to be pretty scarce to start off with. There. All right, cool. Let me just, I'm going to switch my account actually. Let me switch to another account. We'll switch to that one there, and I'm going to go back onto the Icosa DApp. Let me refresh this. Bam. So that's all in. That's I stuck on that account, isn't it? You can't the account. Hopefully it's going to override it. No, it's not overriding for some reason. It's a pain. Yeah, it's not going to let me override that. Otherwise, I would show you how that was going to work. But never mind. All right, cool. Very nice. All right, so that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much. Is there anything else in there? Neil says RH says NFTs to 0. Does this affect what's a no? So when Richard Hart's talking about NFTs, he's largely talking about GIF NFTs, DeFi NFTs, which is what we're talking about here. He's actually pretty happy with that. In fact, he made pretty good comments about this on, I think it was Wolf on Wall Street recently, about the Hedron contract NFTs. These are DeFi NFTs, so basically they have an economic functionality to them, or financial functionality. In this case, they build on top of the Hex contract itself, which can't be much better than that. And yeah, so not the same thing as a GIF NFT. Now, if you've got a picture, like any of the monkeys or dogs or anything, any of those ones, those are the ones he's really criticizing. And I agree with him on those comments. And we obviously see pullbacks in the value of those. But of course, they're only as good as the community. So if the community grows, they keep that culture going, and they can ride through bulls and bear markets, then they can keep particular NFTs going. And of course, like CryptoKitties or whatever it's going to be, particularly if they don't have a lot of inflation in them. But this is DeFi NFTs and GameFi NFTs. They're going to be around for a long time. Entertainment NFTs will probably be around as long as the entertainment artist is around. You're going to see corporates and entertainment industry use NFTs prolifically. So yeah, it's probably the weakest ones in my view are generally the GIF NFTs, just where you got a picture of something, and of course you see NFTs popping up all over the place. Here's 5,000 of this variation, 5,000 of this variation, and your community can't sustain most of those. So in a bear market, they tend to go to 0. Is kind of the idea there. There will always be a couple that will stay up at the top, but they'll always come down from their massive price. Maybe someone paid $250,000 in the bull market, but now it's worth $30,000. That's kind of what happens in those markets there. And sometimes they don't rebound, right? Whereas in DeFi, especially with the Hex contract, the way it's designed for multi-generational use. So yeah, cool. Kate Figure, hello all. A recliner sucks, says Kate Figure. That's funny. Does anyone want 2 crazy hyperactive kittens that ignore you, says Cat Figure? And I know that they were ripping up your lounge there earlier today, Cat Figure, so it sounds like you survived. But that's got to be extra cute. Were you going to post a picture in the Discord? I think you might have. Nobel worthy work there, says Neil. I appreciate that, Neil. All right, cool. Let's jump over to the Discord. Yeah, if you, Neil, feel free to post a picture. Maybe post it under the non-crypto chat. You can post some of your kittens there. Matt and Barley's posted his dog. Big thumbs up for that. So definitely post it in there. What else? We got lots of different stuff in this one. So I haven't actually been in there for a little while. There's all these posts, so pretty funny. What have we got there? Summer in there. Is that real summer? My goodness, that's terrifying. I get old Florida or somewhere like that. Sandy Beach with the beaches. Nice one, Sandy. Man, looking good there. Wow, living the dream. Sandy over there. So nice. I guess it's up somewhere in the East Coast there. Very cool. All right, we're up to now 20 minutes. We're probably going to wrap up now. Hopefully that was a good refresher. We are counting down. It's getting pretty close. Like I say, it's you can play around with the dApp before you do it. Like I say, you can use multiple wallets for staking. You can do staking ladders just like you normally would. Icosa is going to be very rare at the beginning. They may not be up for sale that easy straight away out of the gate. What I suggest to you is follow Alex pretty quickly or out of the gate there. Obviously, I'm a YouTuber on this site, but Alex is the developer. So definitely worth following Alex. So here's Alex's Twitter. If you are on Twitter, that's Alex there. So Alex the dev, and he will be kicking it all off, right? He's kicking the contract off. So you can follow Alex the dev there. And of course, also you can follow Icosa on Twitter as well. Obviously, all the official announcements will come out of there, and it's happening pretty fast. So Icosa is there. Bam! I'll post that too. And it's going to be a lot of fun. 6 hours ago, there are scam tokens being airdropped to Hedron and Hex holders. Do not interact with them. That's nice. See how nice Alex is around that. Very cool. And away to go. Hey, we got that's the guide that I did the other day. So if you haven't checked it out, Icosa step-by-step guide. That's even longer than this episode. It's probably a little bit slower too. So definitely check that out. That is on this channel, Hex Token channel, with your host Superman. #Superman. All right, so that's pretty much it on that one. So we're going to close out of there. Let's quickly check Richard Hart, see whether he's been up to anything in the United States. It's always good to catch up with him. He's been having a lot of fun lately. Oh, he's at the clubs now. Oh man! First of all, he's riding the streets. Looking at funny cars. So he's looking at funny cars. Is pretty funny. It's got the sound effect woofer at the back there. So cool. He's been doing lots of cool things in here. What else have you been doing? Promote what you love. Let's jump into that. He's at the clubs from the looks of it. Or the concert. This is the concert he was at. It looks pretty fancy. So he's having a good time there. What else there? What's that? Tutor overwhelming demand. Please stop messaging me. Hot Miami girls DM me on Instagram. I'm in town. He's funny. All right, so that's him. He's been living the dream there. Nice one. All right, so cool. We're going to jump out of some of those sites there. Hope you guys had a good time. Let's get into the prices, though. We're not going to wrap up yet. We're going to muck around with the prices on the Hex chart because Hex is pumping. And so we're going to hang out there. Let me just close down all these sites here. We're going to close down all this. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it's coming down. About 16 hours or so to go, I think it is, until the actual launch. So it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, Hex at 6.8 cents, and we did get up to a high of 7.35. So it really is pushing higher here, and it's playing out like a textbook, right? So if you haven't seen my presentation on that, it's definitely playing out pretty much close to what we expected, a window of opportunity. It's going to keep going all the way, probably till September. There will be ups and downs, but it's looking good right through to September the 20th at this stage. Then we'll reassess our macro outlook is pretty much what we'll do then. Oval says Brisbane is ready for Pulse X and Hex. I am already looking at Lamborghini, and Boat says over. I like that. That's how we roll. Very, very cool. All right, let me just remove some of these. Tidying up the studio. So we've got Hex at 6.85 cents and just trying to grind itself higher or work itself higher. It is pretty much, look at the long, see that orange line here? This is the long-term resistance, and we're breaking out of that. That is the long-term resistance all the way back since September 2021 at the all-time high of Hex at 51.7 cents. That is pretty much it, and we're breaking out of there at the same time. It's like all the stars are aligned kind of thing. And wow, it's going to be, obviously you got to, the buy pressure's got to outdo the sell pressure as we start to get into these price ranges. So 6.9 cents kind of where we're at this stage, but looking really, really good. Very exciting. Very excited, as we say, very excited. And we got 6.9 cents. Woohoo! Pump, pump, pump. And the other thing, of course, is we've got Hedron at 3,400. Hedron has been moving around. Look at this. And it got as high so far of a 3,838. And of course, the all-time high is a 7,272 back up here. So it's going to be fascinating now to see how high this goes. We've got 16 hours, so it's going to be fun to see that. Now, people are going to buy Hedron to stake, or they're just going to keep minting Hedron out of their native Hex stakes, or they're going to borrow through HSI stakes, things like that. It's going to be fascinating to see that play out. It has had a big rally already. Just take that into account. So we'll face some sell pressure, is my guess. But so far, it just keeps pushing higher at the moment. How much will get staked out of all Hedron? Who knows? Will the OA stake? Will the Hex Godwell stake? It's going to be fascinating. All those questions are going to be answered over the next couple of weeks. And it's going to be a lot of fun to see. How much money will go into the WhatsApp NFTs? Will it be millions? Will it be tens of millions? We will find out. It's going to be fun to see that too. Don't you love crypto? Welcome to the fun park, as it were. All right, cool. And Maxi at the moment currently at 12.75 cents. Premium is down to 88%. So that's pretty interesting. And of course, Maximus informational news around the launch won't be out for probably a couple of weeks, is my guess. We will get the public test network from the looks of it, and that's probably what we're going to have. And so maybe late August at the earliest for launch. But of course, Dipcatcher, the dev for Maximus, did say he was teasing about launching at Pulse conference because he's going to be speaking there. But most of us were putting in the comments, no, launch earlier than later, and we want it now. So all of that pumps Hex, and so it's good for Hex, right? It's going to eat up the circulating supply, and as you saw in my waterfall chart earlier, we could have some profound impacts on Hex. Not so far out, actually, near term. We're talking about the next 6 weeks. These could end up taking best case scenario, probably best case, because no one knows the best case. Best case scenario, we could have 1 billion Hex come off the market. That's huge. So if it plays out that good, that'd be great for the long-term price of X. But also, what I mean by that, off the market gets staked. That's what I mean by that. And for the short term, a percentage of that could end up buying. So let's just say we had 600 million through Maximus. So we've got bigger pays better for each of them. 150 million from each contract, the base, the trio, the Lucky, and the Dicky tokens. We get that 600 million, so 4 times 150 million, up 600 million. Maybe 10% of it goes to buy Hex on the market. Well, there's not that much Hex on the market, so that's huge buy pressure. So we will see how that all plays out. I don't know, but let's imagine if it wasn't there, then we'd just be subject to the market, natural market trends, the price, TA and all the rest of it. But because we have this coming, it's super bullish for the Hex price, right? Fundamentals. So yeah, and we have a window of opportunity too between now and 25th September. 25th September is when the Fed Reserve will give out their latest interest rate rises, and of course we'll hopefully, if that is softer than people expect, like 50 basis points, super bullish for the market to even continue on from there. If it's 75%, the market will go, okay, it's a little heavy, but we can absorb it. If it was anything higher, of course, the market would get a shock from that, like 100 basis points. Hopefully we won't have anything like that. We've had high employment, but the inflation was lower than expected. But we still have 2 big numbers to come out in September, and those will be the August inflation numbers and the August employment numbers. So that will feed into the Fed Reserve's interest rate rises. Why is this so important? It's important because we're going from super cheap money to slightly less cheap money. And of course, that's going to affect all markets, not just crypto and stock market, but also bond markets, asset and property markets, and it flow on to other markets as well. All the primary ones like food and stuff like that. So all flows on. So so far so good though. We had a nice little pullback in oil as well, back down to into the 90s there, from $120. I was really worried that if things had really escalated in Russia, for example, The worst case scenario would be if the permafrost supply of oil in Russia ever got blocked off, because once they're locked off, it takes decades to get them out, and the people that can get them out are the people they're at almost at war with, the kind of thing. The Europeans out there who have got the technical ability to take decades to get those back on. So you don't want that, because that just dramatically would make oil $150 a barrel, so or higher. So we don't want that either. So obviously energy is what fuels the whole modern society. So and goes into 90% of products. So we don't want any of that to happen. That'd be pretty bad. We'd quickly know about it. But in any case, that's kind of the worst case scenarios. There may have got a little bit off track with that, but that's kind of where we're heading at this stage. All right, what else we got going there? We've got TV Cooper says, "Dear sir, when to move to Pulsechain? We are 1 day closer, sir. We just hit 7 cents on Hex. We just hit 7 cents. Let's go to the Hex chart there. Boom, there we are, 7 cents on the Hex chart, looking good. I'm going to remove the overlays. We're on breakout on this chart, big time on everything on this. It's looking good. Dear sir, when moon Pulsechain? 1 day closer, sir. DB, well, 1 day closer to Pulsechain. Now, will we launch in September? That's a big question. Will we launch in September? And of course, hey, there's a couple arguments for it, but we will find out. What else are we here? We've got ETH 2.0 coming up on the 19th September, and that's going to be interesting. So let's quickly check out. We've got Hex at 7 cents. We're pumping. I love it when the price pumps at this on the Hex token channel pump. That's pretty much it. So this was an update from Richard regarding Pulsechain launch versus ETH 2.0. So let's check that out.
Yeah. Have you seen, before I lead it to, I'll ask you two. Number one, do you think Ethereum 2.0 goes, actually happens? And when it happens, does it go ahead and dock and go off without a hitch? Or will you see problems?
Software takes a long time, and software sometimes has bugs.
But we're okay with waiting, right? I'm okay with waiting.
I'm okay with waiting. I mean, look, I'd like Pulsechain to launch before it, but truthfully, it really doesn't matter whether Pulsechain launches before it or not, because it doesn't affect the gas fees. Ethereum 2.0 does absolutely nothing to affect the gas price.
Correct.
It does nothing to increase throughput. It is the exact same gas price, homies. And so Pulsechain is there to help get those gas fees down, give everyone the largest free airdrop. And so whether we should beat them to market, but in case we don't, it's fine.
Yeah, so we may or may not see, the PulseCon announcement some people are holding. Maybe Pulse Conference will get the announcement of Pulsechain and Richard's in the US, but I don't think so. I think it'll probably be a bit later, but I'll be happy to be disappointed. No one really knows. I know a lot of the people in the community have been asked, but there's only, you can rationale either September, some people have October, some people have December, January with the highest of stakes, which does seem, fairly compelling. It'd be more time for testing the code, whatever Richard's team's doing. And what else? The third birthday of Hex, the highest of stakes release. So we've got a few things for that later time frame. But ultimately, we'll just have to wait and find out. Richard has said soon a lot. He said hopefully soon in the video with the Wolf of Wall Street. He has used soon a lot, obviously in that last video. Soon, so whenever soon is 2 more months, 2 more weeks, we'll find out. Just got to be more patient. We'll get there in the end, I'm sure. Gentleman says, cost me $20 in gas fee to mint 0.04 Hedron from Hex stake. Not sure why you're minting that 0.04 Hedron. Why would you do that? Only claim 1 day and rest of still to claim. 7x bonus, not sure if it's worth even claiming. No, just let it accumulate, Gentleman. And just let it accumulate, because it doesn't sound that's not a lot. 0.04 Hedron, that's like next to nothing. So just let your stakes accumulate there, Genuine. What else are we going there? $20. Yeah, that's I don't know why. Yeah, I'm a little confused at why you would mint that amount. If you have that small amount, same for me. I could mint like 100k Hedron, put more. Yeah, just let it accumulate. If you only got a small amount of Hedron on a small B share stake, then just let it accumulate. It's not worth you claiming it, because even that 6 Quay, might cost you, I don't know, $1.50 to claim. So I don't know when you paid $20 for that. The Quay's been really low today, so yeah. DB says, have budgies. I'll let them fly indoors freely. That's pretty funny, DB. Okay, Fergus says, yes, we had them a week and they hid from us, but come out at night. Nice one. All right, what else we got going on there? Hexkin says, cost $1 to $2 to mint Hedron. Yeah, that's right. That does cost that much. That's what I was just saying. So, yeah, we agree on that. So, yeah, I wouldn't be minting anything if it's not. Remember, you take the amount of Hedron that you've got there that you're able to mint, and you multiply it by the Hedron price, and that will give you the amount that that's worth. And so, of course, if that's anything close to the amount that's going to cost you in terms of $1 to $2 to mint Hedron, then that's a big problem. So I wouldn't do it. All right. Jonathan, by the way, we're a family channel. We don't do swearing and stuff like that. So unfortunately, I have to delete your comment. Who else can afford to stake Hedron because of the gas fees? Yeah. Sorry, no swearing on this channel. Cool. So I have to just delete it just because you used the swear word now. Tensions in the house there. I remember we used to grow up using wood fire for cooking, no refrigeration. So it was pretty much basic living. So if Russia war escalate, we know exactly what to do. That's a nice one, Tension. Nice one. Sorry, 4 cents. Yeah, well, it's the same idea. They're genuine. Same idea. Yeah. Don't claim it until you're in profit, right? You got to be in profit when you're going to claim your Hedron. Don't claim it until then. HP says, how are we looking on the prediction Excel charts you have? If you don't mind going over it. You mean my Pulsechain prediction chart? Yeah, I haven't pulled it up for ages there, HP. Let me pull that up. Boom. Pulsechain sweepstake. Bam. I don't know. What date are we up to now? Oh, man, we're marching through. So all these people are outs. They're outs. Let me just pull this in. So these people are all out. Oh, Sandy Beach, you're out. Oh, no, Sandy Beach will hate that. Unfortunately, Dave Down Under too, Crypto Tycoon, AP. I think quite a few in the channel as well. So they're all out. What day are we on now? Just forgot. The 14th of August. Went too far. Got too aggressive there. 14th of August there. So we'll go out to the 13th. They're all out of the sweepstake. Let's have a look here. So I think that's pretty cool. What else there? We've got, sorry, it's just moving around a little bit here. There's no one here in the future here, so that's cool. They're all out though. Can't drag that. Let me drag. Come on. You can drag that. Let me just copy paste that. How about that? So 13th there, I'm going to end there. Bam. So everyone's out from there. So we've got all these other people in the house there with their Pulsechain price launch predictions. So still looking good going out the future. August there. For some reason I keep thinking that we're in September, but we're not in September. So these are all the people coming up there. HP, was that you, HP? HP. Whoa, HP blockchain 1st of November. There you are. So you got plenty of time at this stage. And there's December there. So cool. Top chick. We got all the way out into 23, which I do not like. We don't want to launch in 23. That's a long time, man. I mean, that's we're patient. We've got proof of patience, but or proof of wait, as we say. Resology right at the back end there. A little Brozzy sneaking in there. June 30th of 2023. How about that? That's pretty funny. All right, cool. That is it. Bam. And Life Changer 33 is in the house. Winter is coming. Hex green candles. I like that. Hedron is long-term play. 1 million Hedron will have a ton of value in a few years. Yeah. All hail. King Richard says Life Changer 33. 333. And Wookie's still in. Hey, Wookie, good to see you. Yeah, Wookie, you're still in there. Launch prediction October the 1st is Pablo Hexabar. October the 1st. I already got you in there, haven't I, Pablo? I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so yeah, maybe we'll have another day where we'll do another round 4 on the sweepstake. Maybe we could do that tomorrow. That would probably be a good one. Maybe tomorrow's afternoon session after, because my first live stream tomorrow, Icosa is going to be launching just when I'm doing my live stream. So we'll be covering that indeed. Who else there? Life Changer says, I heard a rumor October the 10th. Yeah, I heard some people saying October. That's why I said October. Normally I just say September or December, January. But some people were talking about an October theory as well. The theories abound. All right, Hex just teasing us at 7 cents, 6.993. We've got, what else we got going on here? We've got Hedron at 3451. Let's full chart that. That is Hedron at the moment. Like a beastie boy. Now, I know at least one or two people on this channel picked it up around 175 down here. And man, they have made a killing. They must be laughing, assuming they haven't sold, they must be laughing themselves to the bank there with the 175 buy. And we were covering it on this channel. Wow. Pretty awesome there. All right, cool, very nice. And Maximus is at 13 cents at the moment. Boom, 13 cents is Maxi. And of course, that we'll be talking more about Maxi later in the second half of August, probably early September when they come to launch. That's going to be big. So we've got two big projects building on top of Hex that are super good for Hex chart. Here's Hex on the hourly. We got up to 7.3 here, 7.3 cents. We just powered up there. Then we got this sell off here. Look at this little, they can't help themselves, right? They can't help themselves but sell into that. And then up we're going at the moment. So push higher, leave these people that sold in the dust. That's what we say. Leave them in the dust. Leave them in the dust. Get out there, spread the word about Pulsechain, Pulsex, and X, Hedron, Maxi, Icosa. It's going to be a crazy time. Crazy time. Good times. Woo! Hot doggity dog, as we say. Pulse Dodge here at $6.35, still holding on to this upward trend, and away to go. This is the one. This one down the bottom here. That is the last resort there. It's already broken down through two steeper trends there, but it's still in the uptrend, and so its life continues, but does need a green candle or two around here at the moment. So we will see. This has breathed it off now, so the RSI is cooled off. That's a positive sign. And of course, Pulse Dodge coin staking and deflation is coming. So that's going to be fun to watch that too. The gains are not over there. That was cool. Thanks, Superman. You're welcome there, HP. What's it? Lunch prediction pizza, says DB. Don't say pizza, DB. You're making me hungry. I'm not allowed a pizza. Not allowed a pizza. OMF says launch prediction September the 15th, Mexican Independence Day. Mexican independence from Ethereum, says Home. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. I like that. September 15th, 2024, says DB. Yeah. We're not doing it today. We're going to probably do it tomorrow afternoon. So if you want to come in and give us the sweepstake for the next round, which will be round 4 or 5, I can't remember now. Round 4. Is it round 4? Maybe it is. But it's coming up. All right, coming up to an hour and 45 minutes. We're going to wrap up shortly. We've got Hex at 7 cents. It's looking good, though. Looking good. And we should, overnight, it's going to be really interesting. I know that we've got quite a few Americans on the channel, but when Americans open up, obviously they do a lot of crypto buying. And we're going to see some interesting stuff. Probably about 5 hours before Icosa launches. That's probably typically when the market pushes prices up the most. So we're going to see how that goes overnight. We will Hex end up here. Obviously, HSI buying, but people buying Hex for HSIs. That's very, very important. So we're going to be watching that too. Very keen to see that. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's do a bit of a wrap up. We got the Bitcoin at 24,820, looking good, looking like a beastie boy. Really keen for Ethereum though. Ethereum back over 2,000. Yes, that's good to see. Being just sitting under 2,000 there. Hey, this could keep riding all the way up, couldn't it? Until September the 19th. Barring some major financial bad news. Other than that, I don't expect too much of that. We're looking at 2,000 at the moment. We've got that window of opportunity, as I say, window of opportunity looking good there. Hex currently teasing us around 7 cents, 6.990, looking good there. And so far we've got Hedron at 353. Looks like it's making another push back up here with the high today so far of 3838. What will this be tomorrow when I do my first live stream just before the Icosa launch? What price will this be? That's going to be fascinating. Is it going to start trying to challenge the previous high? It's going to take a lot to get there, but hey, we could be quite a bit higher than this now. That's certainly surprising to the upside at this stage. So very cool. Maxi at 13 cents and a Pulse Dodge at 6.35. That's a pretty good place to wrap up, I think. We'll leave it on the Hex chart there. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys again tomorrow. Hex over 7 cents. You heard it. And Kate Fergus says, I heard you mentioned Sandy Beach, Superman. For some reason, not seeing her comments. No, I was on Discord. She posted some pictures in Discord there. That's how I got that. All right, let's play it out. We're going to pump it. Let's pump up the videos, the music. We know how we love the bass. When the bass, sir, says DB. When the bass is coming. Bass is coming. Let's pump it up here. I think we've got Juan in the house there. Hey, Juan, you're just coming in just when I'm wrapping up here. A morning from Canary Islands. Hey, good to see you, Juan, and a pleasure as always. But unfortunately, I'm just wrapping up, so I'm going to have to bounce. I'm going to have to bounce. Win big. Was it? Win big base. When's that coming up? Yeah, win big base. There we are. That's the cue. That is the cue. Let's go. All right, let's pump it up here. Pump up the volume. Where is the big bass? Here we go. We're going to have to play a few ads at the end. So you want a few ads? Yeah, let's do a few ads for PulseCon 2022. It's coming up pretty shortly with the golf course. Let's do it. Boom. Pump it up. Let's do it. The prices are pumping, and we're in the best ecosystem on the planet. Woohoo! Taking over crypto. Hex, Pulsechain, Pulsechain, and of course, Icosa helping us get there too. All right, take care. Bye for now.
Join Hex Ladies at the Pulse Masters Golf Tournament on September 5th, 2022. This event is the official kickoff to PulseCon Las Vegas. Individuals and teams of 4 of every skill level are invited to party with us on the golf course at the renowned Revere Golf Club. There will be 2 shotgun start times. This is an event you do not want to miss. Come mix and mingle with golfers and influencers from all over the crypto space. Visit ksb.tv/golf for more info and to donate. You can also donate to Hex Ladies on Cash App.
Two, one, swing. That's looking good. Oh, yeah. That's in the hole. Whoa. That's it. That's it.